My first piece as a poet was called My Life, My Journey, My Story, His Glory. I like to call it LJ, SG, just to keep it G for it's easier and shorter. But I've come to realize that in life, what's easier is not always shorter, the same way as what's harder is not always longer. It's just that in this heat of life, mirages are plenty, and as we walk, we tend to pant heavily for the virtual oasis. For our perceptions, our motions of our visions in the orbit of the scope of life, and we differ on what is the right angle to view from. That one point stands on many standpoints, hence the birth of relativity and the death of absolutes. Any story has more than one meaning, for there are many eyes. I mean, think about it. There's 7 billion people, that's a 7 billion crowd and 7 billion mouths, but 14 billion eyes. So the facts are certain, but the interpretations are varied. Like there's ZTV, Sky News, CNN, Al Jazeera, they all pitch cameras and people in places and get... I wonder what you see when you see me. Or if you can't see, I wonder what you hear as I speak to you. And if you can't see or hear, do I reach out to your heart? I'm here with the God sent she, so don't panic. For I need not to touch you physically, for I've been touched already. Yet I seek to touch you heart to heart, a victim of art, seeking to intentionally weave out the strands from my inner possession to communicate to you simply the complex language of reality. That I don't stand in front of you as a voice of perfection, but as a voice of an imperfect reality. A cracked up earthen vessel in the mending hands of these seasoned artists. So please do understand if my words sound artistic, but really I'm just a he who exploits art to relate. Poetry is for the discerning. That's what my auntie Rita said. It's not to be plain margaritas, just tomatoes on pastry, but something so much more. A precious, abundant ore to the many miners out there who... It was a blue room, and I was sitting on the chair provided in it. My eldest brother lay on the elevated single bed covering his face, pain written all over his body. And I was his escort to the doctor. The nurse had just left and said that she'll be back. And then she came back moments later with an oral antibiotic, but then he also had to go out for a urine sample, so I was left all alone in the room to collate my thoughts. So my heart started writing. So I took my phone out and I started typing the first words of this piece, if you still remember them. You see, I don't blame you if you've already forgotten them, for I also do not even remember the name of the painful drug that was administered to him. But that's exactly the point. How easily we forget. We remember to forget that which we ought not to forget to remember. The chase in remembrance drive is an enterprise that we have not mastered totally. Our thoughts as vehicles move on the same roads of life daily, yet we forget to imprint their names. Our love for comfort is on the preeminent one, the rider of the white horse, he who dwells on high, hence no eye will miss his view, radiating glory, magnificence packed in every fiber that he contains. He confounded the beauty of this world to zero and splashed all over the essence of victory. Now we speak of a speech that speaks of speeches untold and have humanity document and place their lives in it. It's this 3 in 1, his name, the distinctly unmatched and explicitly authoritative yet meek existence of the supremacist. All things surrender, his blood, the qualification and vortex of all divinity, the only access to the covenant that he provided, our privilege, and his word, the reality of salvation, shalom, nothing missing, nothing broken, the written of the unwritten, because that which ought to be written cannot be contained. So what is this beauty? It is this Jesus, his name, his blood, and his word. My fellow poets made fun of me that I don't have any love pieces. I told them, I don't have any love pieces, but you find love in my pieces. But honestly though, I didn't have any love piece until this one, because I hadn't experienced yet that kind of love they meant. I had to wait for it. It's cliche though how love is synonymous with us poets. I wonder why. I also wonder why we're called poetic when we're just being honest. Could it be that poetry is the language of love, the heartbeat of life, articulated beautifully? The correct interpretation of our oxygenated blood flows through every artery, gushes of ecstasy and unexplained bliss. Or could it be that humanity is just a sucker for adrenaline rush, wings or red? So we'd rather be dazzled by Romeo and Juliet, Bonnie and Clyde, the intoxication of love, illicit reality as this tear that's on my floor, than listening to the story of love. You see, love is as strong as death. So be warned, It's the R-rated movie of existence, yet everybody wants to watch